Just because you think of Victor and you're like, wait, Victor doesn't have a stun to stop the ultimate. Why not go for the gank?
Ooh,
trading here.
Connects onto Bebe. Magical Journey is available, but look at that. Great trades.
And just look at that. The Courage of the Colossus, he lands a CC, pops his W. It's so hard for them to actually return fire, but
Azael, look at Bengi. He's coming from behind. Albis is in trouble. Knocked up from the unburrow. Down to 100, and that's first blood to Prey.
that was so well done. They have Madlife go in, force out the Magical Journey, so that was actually off cooldown. Bengi is lying in wait, comes in, they get the first blood. So well done there.
Sort of flexible pathing available for a Rek'Sai. Karsa's in mid lane to
Maple
back
6.
up.
Very quick channel on that Death Lotus for Maple. He's forced to flash away. Faker looking to turn it around. 1v2. Gravity Field does not stun Karsa. Death Ray puts a lot of damage down, and Faker uses Ghosts and forces 2 away.
But the point I was going to get to is that the Gravity Field is still that interrupt on ability, so you cannot Death Lotus if the Victor ult is up and expected to go out. We're seeing here what happened. They went for the first trade. Ice thought this was over, the LMS thought this was over, but that's when Bengi pathed in. They knew they had the line in. Albis still very squishy. Shiv, it might not do the immediate damage of the Ziggs mines, but the follow-up damage from Twitch has never been a problem for the Rat.
No, absolutely not. Prey, of course, maxing that E, getting a lot of damage built up.
Sun in his eyes there.
There we go. Just the simplest shots are the easiest to miss. But Ziv was actually shoving Smeb in. Got that Spectre's Cowl, got some MR, and gonna pull some support up. Here's Karsa.
Bengi's coming though.
It's a 2v1. Easily pick up the kill onto Smeb. And they just walk away. Bengi a little too late to the party.
Yeah, super clean stuff from the LMS, even though that was a cross-team thing. Down bottom,
The
though.
dredge line! Wow, that was interesting. Maybe got pulled out, but still clicked and got past. I don't actually think I've ever seen that interaction before.
Movement priority is always an amusing thing, but up top, as you mentioned, with the moment that he had the Spectre's Cowl, was starting to stand up to the trades, and this was just really clean. HQ, Flash Rolls, doesn't matter if there's any team rivalry there, because these two were of one mind.
Yeah, that was beautifully done, but
Oh,
Smeb has
man.
TP'd bot, and he's going on Albis.
That's such an easy kill. Prey gets to secure.
And look, Dredgeline is still a hook champion. It's not the Thresh we were hoping for, but the Nodal has Flash available himself, so the kick will probably be lethal onto this Victor. That's on future event. Might be now.
Death Lotus fully charged. Maple's going to flash away from the hook. Manages to get a lot of damage down. Still has access to that preparation. Prey pulls the cast just a little short. Spray and Prey contaminate. Flash!
Oh, he got him!
For the kill. Prey gets it.
Oh, and that is huge. Prey is 3-0 now of 30 CS. This guy is going to be massive.
But look at this full court press coming from the LCK. It's not just a solo kill.
Change target. It appears to be the case. Oh, this is going to be terrifying. Equalizer goes out. Knocked up by the mine. Caught by the hook. Prey's on a rampage 4-0. Being the favorites in the matchup.
I mean, Korea's looking good, but we're not at that 20 points yet, Trevor.
Not just yet. Maple's going to dash away after the preparation. Once again, Shunpo's to safety. Karsa finds Faker. Gets the kill. Manages to pick it up. There's a knockup from the Unburrow. Bengi's running for his life. Another Sonic Wave connects. Maple's looking for more. Preparation into Shunpo. Maple's on the board. 1 kill, 1 assist.
And the LMS are really hoping this is where it begins. Finally, Maple is on the board. Had to go super defensive build with the Negatron first into the nearest large rod, but this is some of the new Katarina mechanics coming in. Double Shunpo available. Finally catch Faker with his summoners down, and this is 2 important kill involvements for the LMS.
And it's Karsa that gets the glory, but it's Maple who did such a good...
Maple's going to need to finish off this thrift shopping. Bebe's going to flash away.
He's coming in.
More. Exhaust comes up. Very good tempered face. Double. Teleport's coming in. Maple throws down the Death Lotus. Gets the second kill. Another follow-up from Bebe. Katarina is 2-1-2, and if it were solo queue, I'd be saying forfeit at 20.
Well, it's not the way you thought it looked, but it is close now. That's 4 straight kills for the LMS. The HighLights is completed for Maple. It's going to be so sticky, really hard to get away from this. And they overcommit. They don't respect the double TP. They both come in. Bebe's able to disengage. The ultimate lands from Bard, and it's a disaster for the LCK.
Overextending in multiple lanes was what got LCK the lead early. But
That is, there's 2 more threats, but LMS looking for one of those picks.
The target is Prey. They need to get the vision. Camouflage is going to help by some time. Shunpo into Death Lotus. Prey gets tagged, taken down by Karsa. Maple's looking for the jumps. The Shumpos as well. Karsa survives the slither. Faker's running up. He's ghosted in for the fight. A magical journey by some time. And it looks like the LMS have managed to get away. They invested a lot, but they do get their kill. They may just lose a tower for the trade.
And even though LCK had an aggressive ward down, we didn't see the TP from Smeb. They answered with a turret, like you said, so still going to be some more global gold going the way of LCK, but it's been LMS on the front foot for the past 5 minutes, and it's been nice picks and nice teamwork, and the Bard opening up plenty of avenues.
Yeah, three-man squad coming in from behind. The ulti misses, the Q misses, it doesn't matter. They had more than enough. And look at the damage from Katarina there. Ultimate actually does more damage than the previous version, and just too much for Prey to get.
Gone down, and then we start getting the items onto these carries. Speaking of carries,
All right, Faker's in trouble. Knocked down, really easy combination. Not enough time to do anything against Faker.
An interaction where Jim pops his ultimate, and then the Rumble ultimate just gets dropped on his head, and it's so tough to deal with that.
It is indeed. Smeb's got an hourglass available. That's going to buy a few seconds time. Ziv and Maple looking for more. Flashes away from the Death Lotus. Is going to have a plant to knock him to safety, and eventually Ziv and Maple run down Smeb, while Karsa gets jumped on his side of the jungle. So it feels like LMS are throwing resources at Maple to continue pushing him ahead.
Yeah, and Smeb, he survived for a bit, but he needed to drop his ult before the Zonias. You need to have damage kind of going out while you're sitting there in the immunity, and LCK are trying to force this dragon. Looks like they're going to get it for free.
we'll give time though for Ice to set up some vision around Baron, and this isn't the really
all these healing and extra kind of shields that you're not necessarily going to expect.
Prey's going to use that blast going to get over the wall. Equalizer comes down into Ziv as well.
Flash.
Prey, not using that spray and pray just yet, waiting for the range. Ziv will actually just get run down without any further assistance. Picks up a really easy kill, but that was Ziv very overextended. Prey and the rest of LCK now on the tower.
Okay, and the rest of the teammates weren't in position to profit over a teleport coming in from the Katarina.
Almost always, and I do think that Rumble as well. I like their team across the board a lot in fight.
Oh, wow, Karsa just absolutely obliterates Prey. Is going to give up his life in the trade. Nope, still not dead yet. Finally dropped by Faker, but that's exactly what a Black Cleaver Warrior Hexdrinker build does.
But it looks cool, but is it worth trading 1 for 1 when your jungler is the one that goes down? Now, I'm not saying this will open up Baron, but seeing some other players around the map, Smeb's low.
Take a look at that damage. Maple's got a flash. Needs a dash away from Zip. Good knocker. Now we jump to the mid lane.
Fighting everywhere.
Fate comes out. Albis slows down Faker. Flashes over the wall. We cut back the bottom. Maple got the kill onto Smeb. Now Bengi should help out. Got the tower behind him as well. Support from the LCK squad coming from the river. Full HP for Madlife. Faker barely scratched. Death charge will chase Maple as far as he can run. The dredge line pulls him backwards. Riptide holds him in place. And that's an easy kill. Shut down onto Maple. Ziv's running for his life, but will not escape Faker. That's a very big shield from the buckler, and the gravity field holds him down. Is he going to get the whole wave before he dies?
Just poppy things.
Oh, Faker. Didn't your parents ever teach you not to play with your food? His attention, Ziv's running, trying to escape, but it will eventually get dropped.
Late game, sure, but for now, and especially if they get a snowball Baron, this could be big for us.
Baron's going down fairly quickly, 7,000 HP. Prey
set up.
and Prey's available. Goes into the pit, but he's one shot. Prey is down. That's a kill for Maple. Now the teleport's coming in. Bengi gets knocked up by the Dragon's Rage. Bebe's down. 80 carries.
This could
not
be SKT's
available.
Baron.
Baron is now being turned onto. Redemption's coming out from the squads. Zev is jumping into the pit. The verdict not available to him. It looks like Karsa has re-engaged on the Baron. He's on 400 HP. Bengi and Madlife going back in, and everybody breaks away. 80 carries trade lives.
That was such a crazy fight, back and forth. Looked like LMS had it. Then the LCK comes in. Looks like they're going to take over, and Ziv with a fantastic ultimate to disengage that goal.
Out of those restarts go through now. Ziv is tanky, but how tanky is you're going to find out.
Yeah, it takes a lot of damage in front of
Tanky.
4 members. Albis and Karsa have jumped up as well. The tower's still sort of the focus, but LCK, they're looking for kills. Karsa drops down Bengi.
Oh, nice ultimate.
Catches Smeb and Faker. Equalizer can be used. Great binding once again. Locks him up, but the tower still goes down. Here comes Maple. He's jumped in. That's going to be a golden Smeb. Not dropped yet. Hourglass buys some time. Finally goes down. The slows come out from the curtain call. Maple gets the slow. That's a double. Looking for more. Prey's now going to run in. Spray and Prey is up. Ziv is the target. He will get crit to death as Prey shuts him down, and things are getting very, very messy after 30 minutes.
These fights are so hectic. Every time a single member on the LCK squad goes low, both the Jhin and the Katarina lick their lips, look for the first kill that starts the inevitable cavalcade. And this is the point where you have to be so selective with your engages if you're the LCK. Because Katarina, 3 core items done, is a beast.
Certainly is, and you can see it shown off here. Ziv was so tanky, able to absorb so much of this damage, goes in, gets a nice slam against the wall onto Bengi, and then Albis has been great with his ultimates, lands the 2-man binding on both the carries, and then it's Maple's turn, he comes in.
Smeb is really greedy here, actually uses his ult, the equalizer, purely to try and snipe away the Lee Sin. Whiffs on that, means they don't have it for disengage. The chase down, the chase never stops with Katarina. After command, finish for Poppy. The AP obviously going to waste, but Rumble will have a hell of a time pushing back a banded up minion because really a magic damage dealer outside of those auto attacks. So purely to complete and force Rumble side lane. Yeah,
Prey's hard! Prey got pinned against the wall and he's down. Now it's a 5v4. Faker's already running for his life. Keeper's verdict has already booted the LCK away. Smeb's burned the equalizer. Not gonna get caught. This time round, it's a trade. Ziv's lost his life. Faker turns it back on to Albis. Where is Bebe and Maple? They're splitting up, running away from the Chaos Storm. No binding stun yet, and LMS, they couldn't run into the damage.
It was a great start to the fight, but Maple TP'd in, he could never get in.
Oh!
Faker with the assassination on Albis.
The Lich Bane really just destroying Albis. Bebe flashes away. Maple's looking for an opportunity. Where's the preparation dagger? Holding on to it for now. Karsa uses the kick. Remember, there's no tanky stats. He just goes down. Maple's gonna get caught up by the mine. And 4 members of LCK. That's a delayed ace. LCK, they've broken open the base.
Because it's 35 minutes and it's Lich Bane Faker, they might actually try and finish the game here. It felt like it was slowly creeping to the LMS, but one mistake and the game may be over.
It absolutely is. Bebe gets flashed on. That's the ace. LCK and Team Fire drop the first Nexus turret, take down the second. Here comes Ziv, gonna try to buy some time. Gravity Field pulls him back in. Albis has got a few seconds up, but it will not be enough. A support versus the LCK. The Nexus is being burned down, despite the small hopes and the attempts from the LMS. It is the LCK that will slowly hammer away, dropping Team Ice and taking 100 points for Fire.
Fantastic.